A few other things to keep in mind about an event, some of the optional settings that we have are going to be the options for the event as a whole, and then there's options for each individual day. So options for the event as a whole, you'll notice if you click on the options button, which was over here, will show you allow comments, one meeting per household, enable show more teachers button, hide schedules without availability, and make events private. These options are not necessary, but if you want them, you can use them. Allowing comments will allow the parent to add in a message that the teachers could see. One meeting per household will limit the meetings that parents can make based off of the child. So if one parent makes an appointment with a child for a child with a teacher, the other parent cannot make an appointment with the same teacher for the same child. Enable show more teachers button is useful for schools that want the parents to be able to see teachers where they don't have children connected to them. So there's a few ways of enabling PTC Wizard. If you've uploaded all the class enrollment in order to filter out the teachers for the parent, enable show more teachers button will allow the parents to see teachers that they're not connected to. Making an event private is another interesting feature, which is very useful when schools need to give access to an event to only specific parents. And there's many reasons why you might want to do this. The most common reason that I've heard is when you have parents that need early access to an event. So some schools will have situations where certain parents need to get access to the event before others. In order to accommodate that, you can make the conference private. This event can become private, and then you can specify which parents need access. One scenario might be where you have teachers that are also parents. In that scenario, where a teacher is also a parent, where they're going to meet with other teachers as a parent, and then they want those times blocked off on their own schedule. So you might want to give those teachers permission to log in as parents, make their appointments, then go into their schedule as teachers and block those times off. If you've selected to make an event private and you've chosen all the parents that are going to have private access to that event, only those parents will see the event and no one else will see it as an option. However, once you've finished and those parents have made all those appointments, you can make the event not private, and then all the other parents will have access to see the event and make their appointments as well. If you have a scenario where there just are not enough time slots available on the schedule and you want to limit the number of meetings parents can actually make, so we have the ability to restrict the number of meetings parents can have by conference event in total across the entire event, or by each day of the event. And then you can specify if you want to have a limit by the number of meetings for the parent in total, or based on how many children they have, a limit to how many meetings they can make per child. Hiding the schedules without availability will simply remove the teacher from the list of teachers when there's nothing left there are no appointments left. It'll remove them instead of showing them without any availability. It'll take them off the list completely. These are all the options that we have for the event as a whole. On the conference day itself, you can specify for each day some other options which can be specific to the event day itself. So on one day, you might have, like I said, different meeting types. You might also want to think about passing time or travel time. I'm going to explain the difference between passing time and travel time. And we have documentation about this, which can get into more detail. But the short answer of passing time versus travel time is, who does that apply to? So the travel time is meant for parents that need time to travel from one meeting to another meeting. That applies only to the parents. So if you put in a certain number of minutes, the parents are going to have that number of minutes in between each of their meetings in order to travel from one meeting to another meeting. And that's useful in certain scenarios where the parent needs to cross campus or things like that. The teachers, if you have travel time enabled with a certain number of minutes, the teachers can still have all of their meetings one right after another. However, if you do passing time, then every meeting on the teacher schedule will have some kind of padding. So the meetings might be 15 minutes, and if I put in a 5-minute padding, that means there'll be a 5-minute break after every meeting. And that will impact both the parents and the teachers because there's going to be a 5-minute break in between each meeting.